Okay, I'm not seeing anything there. Okay, there we go. Hey everybody, Carrie here. I am streaming the unboxing of Alpha Strike Aces. Alpha Strike Aces Scouring Sands. It's a cooperative Alpha Strike campaign. Slide that up right there. And there's a bit of a delay. I do apologize to anyone viewing. Actually, give me a second. Let's do this real quick. Where did my Discord server go? There it is. All right. I can't type, can I? Nope. Let's go to something else. Oh, I can't remember. Crap. You ever like you're doing something and you totally forget about it? Let me turn up the volume on it. I can't plug in my microphone because I have a lack of let's turn up. Okay. There we go. I hope that's better. Um, can't use my microphone for a lack of USB ports because I have a, oh God, I have my hard drive, I have my, what else? Oh, the camera, and of course, I, yeah. So anyway, let's get into Scouring Sands with the vacuum sealed box. Let me just yank this off of here, off camera, because it is very much sealed. But I've already taken the wrap off of it. But okay, come on, you little bastard. There we go. This will never be monetized, I'm guessing. All right. So once again, Scouring Sands. Let's see what's in this box. I mean, I've already had a chance to look at the miniatures, thanks to um, thanks to Bobby at Southern Assault, which I have pictures of. But I want to do an unbox. I haven't done an unboxing in a long time. So first we have the rule book, and I'm gonna have to break this thing down into a couple videos probably. One for the miniatures, one for all the rules and stuff. But yeah, goes over the phases here, how everything works, like a short checklist. And this will basically, yeah, this covers. So it covers the actual, like looking at it here. So you have your introduction, your additional rules for Alpha Strike, the automated opponents, how that works. Uh, do, do, do. Yeah, it goes over all the stuff here. I want to say it had the rules for the campaign. Okay, not there. I know everybody wants to see the miniatures. I don't blame you. The miniatures for this are amazing, but you know, the campaign rules. So that way you have all the campaign stuff for like how things work, like edge tokens, waypoints, pilot cards, the campaign log, and all that. And yeah, it's more the campaign rules itself, how the campaign works, and all of that. So that covers, this book covers that part, which is, it's important. And then, I mean, it's very important seeing as how it's a campaign. So it's like 37 pages. It's not very big, not a lot that you need to really worry about with, you know, what is this? How does it, what's that? Oh, it's Two Hills. Okay. But yeah, so when I opened the box that Bobby had, I noticed that the terrain was a little bit hard to get open or get back in here. One thing that I noticed here, there's a bend or I don't know if you can see it right here. Of course, this thing's not happening in real time. Yay. So it's right there. I'm going to hop over to OBS where I can see better. Okay, so yeah, right here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but that corner is bent because these barely fit inside of this box. And this is all of your hills. There's a lot of these. Looks like two of that one. I don't know if they doubled up on my package by accident because this seems like a lot. All right, so got two of that, two of that, two of that, um, two of that, and two of that. So yeah, each of these, there's two of each of these hills, and when you assemble them, like literally, you fold a couple more folds, and then essentially it's like IKEA hills for BattleTech. Bend all your corner tabs, and you just pop them all together. You pop tab A into hole B, and so forth, and then you end up with, I'm not going to say perfect hills, but serviceable hills, you know? So that's pretty cool. I like that. Um, I'm a big fan of the cardboard terrain simply because it gives you I don't know how to put it, it gives you certain like options that you wouldn't have with normal terrain. So then we have the miniatures, which I know a lot of people, this is what they've been waiting for in general. Yeah, it will be. Um, I have no problem. Like when I forget what else it was that came out. There, that's what I'm looking for. Um, something else that came out recently, and of course, I have no problem being a mule. Where I would, oh, the 21st Century Lancers. I have no problem being a mule and getting things for people. Like that's not a problem at all. One thing I will mention is I don't know because we have a dude in office who's literally just like tariffing the crap out of stuff whenever he wants. Like, oh my God, they said a bad thing about me. I'm going to tariff you now. Um, I don't know how tariffs interact between the US and Australia or the US and anywhere right now, and it's kind of hard to tell, you know. I wish it was easier, but it's not. Yay, America. Anyway, I love my country, right? So we have the miniatures. This is the Thor. I want to say this is the Thor M. The oh God, Malthus, Nikolai Malthus, Malthus Thor. Because in here, I'm gonna bring the camera down and refocus while I look at the miniatures real quick. I know I could drag y'all through all the rest of it, but I'm not going to. I am not that kind of YouTuber. I know that y'all want to look at the minis. So hell, let's do this. We're gonna slide this back. Gonna angle this sucker. Sorry, right on top of the hovercraft. Bring it this way so y'all can look at. There we go. Sorry about that. I need more better setup. Anyway, let me see what I can do about focus. That way, y'all are. Oh my God. OBS. Don't do this to me. All right, give me a second. I have to fix the focus on this. So there we go. All right, manual focus. Oh, it, okay. So unplug this halo light, which I think has given us a lot of backlighting. All right. So it's not the best lighting. I do apologize for that, but it could be worse, right? Here we go. Okay. So that's the Mauler, or not Mauler. That's the mech that just leapt over the side of the thing. All right. This is Thor. The Thor Malthus, if I recall correctly. Let me open up the cards, see if that's one of the variants they give us, because it's really interesting. His variant became popular with the Jade Falcons, um, because the source book for the Somerset Strikers canonized it. So I'm gonna hop back over to here so I can actually see. Okay, yeah, no, I totally get that. Um, oh wow, those are really stuck together. So is your store nearby, like, or do you have a heck of a drive to get out to it? I know where I live, it's just really hard to get to my game store. I think I have about a 2 hour drive. So, all right, so let's go through all these. I'm not going to go through all of them. I just want to go find because I believe that is the Thor M. Got some cool cards for infantry, Kraken, Thunderbolt. There we go. Summoner A and so Summoner A or H. I'd have to look and see exactly which one it is. But yeah, so that is not the mall, the Malthus configuration. If y'all aren't able to get it through your local game store, oh, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, looking at it, like I have pictures of the miniature from Southern Assault, but I think it's just easier to kind of go through and give you all a look at it here. Nothing really like just from, I'm sitting maybe a couple feet from, well, arm's length, not quite arm's length, but you know what I mean. I'm sitting right near it, and nothing sticks out like really badly or anything. I mean, if you've watched the videos, you know I look for like the clip points, and like you can barely see one right here. Let me go to the actual thing that shows what I'm looking at. Do, 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 do. Yeah, right there you can sort of see the remnants of one. Same with there. But yeah, I mean nothing jarring that sticks out like holy crap, how did they mess that up? Okay, so then there's a Locust 2C, which I got one of those for mercenaries. I think the arms are different. I think the other arms are missile arms. These are laser arms. I really like how it looks. Then again, it's a unicorn, much like the Marauder. So nothing really crazy on that one. Not I don't know which locust it would be, but all right. And then we got this little guy, baboon, I believe, which once again it looks really good. It's not howler baboon, whichever you want to call it. Nothing really sticks out to me. Sometimes the catalyst stuff just has some errors that are like, oh my God, what were you thinking? And then sometimes it doesn't. Like this is pretty good. I can see a little bit of shininess up near that missile pod. I'm guessing this was a Friday night. You're getting it. It's near the end of your workday. You're like, yep, I'm gonna totally get this out of here so I can go home. Let's see. Oh, I mean, very silent mouse. I will say you do at least have buses. I live in a place where buses are essentially non-existent. Um, yeah, I live way out in the boonies. So, all right. So next up, we have a Marauder 2C. And this one, as you can tell, it's a little bit different here. You got the extended cannons on the arms, and that dorsal gun looks a little bit shorter. Um, not too familiar with Marauder 2Cs to be fair. I'm more of a Warhammer 2C person. Oh, yeah. No, I understand that. All right, so that is either the Marauder 2C10 or the Marauder 2C6. And both of those are pretty scary looking, to be fair. 664 with jump of 12 on a Marauder 2C10. Marauder 2C6 is 453 with a jump of 12. Yeah, neither. I don't want to encounter either of those. All right, so then we're down to the last three mechs, and then there's the two vehicles. So this is the Rifleman C2, I believe. And it comes with, you can see them right there. It comes with these little winglet looking things. And what those are, they are, they go on top of, let me find the card. You can see it in the card if the cards. Yeah, it's Alpha 12 inches. It's Alpha Strike. So that means it's still a, because it would be double distance. It's still a Marauder 2C with a jump of 6. Like, can you imagine like in a classic game having a Marauder 2C that can jump further than like a Nova? It's yeah. I mean, I know it pays for it in in heat because they'd be improved jump jets and maybe a partial wing because the Jade Falcons and partial wings because that's what they do. All right, so I got the wrong card. I'm looking to see. Here it is, the Rifleman. It says it's a C2 and a C3, but I'm hoping that you can see they really didn't do it. They did not color that one well enough to see it. Okay, you can see a little bit better on this one. So like if you look over on the right side of the torso, like right here, you can see the little winglets. And that's, let me knock it over. Thank God they're not metal. And those little winglets are a callback to the Project Phoenix Rifleman, which I have to say, yes, Project Phoenix. If any of you are familiar with Project Phoenix, I don't know. I don't know, like, I mean, I feel like in my demographics, it's like apparently all dudes between 40 and 45 or something. But I know there's a lot of people that aren't familiar with Project Phoenix. And, so there's a lot of guys that are like my age that it plays to apparently. I don't know if anybody here is that, if you just haven't been in BattleTech long enough. Project Phoenix is one of the best and worst technical readouts ever. I guess it'd be a recognition guide now. And yeah, the coolest looking rifleman ever was the rifleman, was it 6X or 6D? It's a twin rotary autocannon rifleman, and it has those little stick out winglets. And I don't think it had this many jump jets though. So it's a lot of jump jets. Speaking of, how far does this thing? Are all of these like jumping monsters? Please tell me no. I don't want a flying rifleman. The C. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, the Rifleman C2, which is um what this one is, okay? In Alpha Strike, it moves 12, which means it has a walk of 6 in Classic, and it has a jump of 18 in Alpha Strike, which means it has a jump of 6 in class, or no, not 6, not 9 in Classic, because it's divided by 2. So this rifleman can outjump, well, not outjump, but it can jump along with a spider. That's terrifying. I mean, yeah, it's still a rifleman, but imagine a spider with rifleman guns, at least rifleman level of firepower. And those look like heavy lasers to me. They don't look like I don't have fletches up, and God knows it'll probably melt my computer if I tried it. Yeah, those look like heavy, large lasers. Yep, yep. Il Clan Era has the weirdest and most terrifying toys. So we have two mechs and two vehicles left. These are new mechs, new vehicles. We have to get under the camera to get one of the tanks. So hovercraft. We got these right here, and those I want to call it a pylum. Pylum. That's what I think it is. I'm not sure. I'm probably totally wrong. Okay, that's not a heavy hover APC. Is that a heavy? No, it's not. No. No, no, no. You're not a heavy hover APC. Heavy emplacements. Where's the Alpha Strike card for this thing? Okay, why am I getting heavy hover APC here? I know. So I could have been more organized about it, but I'm not because here we go. The Fulcrum. It's the Fulcrum heavy hover tank. And the way they've done this thing, like this, if any of you have seen the original TRO 3025 art for the, I think it was in 25, might have been 26. I might be completely wrong. No, it's Clan Invasion Forward. So it would have been TRO 3050 or 3055. Oh my God, yeah, I could see that. Well, that's like there's a king crab. I can't remember which one in the Ill Clan era that moves like I want to say it moves 10 or 12. I mean, mind you, they've used like everything they could to make it work. So it's got like mask and it wouldn't surprise me if it's a mask and supercharger or mask and a double XL engine or something. But yeah, no, there's some mechs that have some ridiculous speeds. Although they don't really move. Well, they usually have good speed, decent firepower, but they're a paper cannon. Once you take a side torso off, it's down. All right, so the Fulcrum Heavy Hover Tank, which apparently there's a Fulcrum 2 Heavy Hover Tank, which I didn't even know about. And I've been playing this since I was like 14, so that's 32 years now. So yeah, done really well. It's very reminiscent of the old art for it. The turret does move, which I am too uncoordinated to do in front of the camera because I'm sitting like my one hand's over here. I can barely reach that way. But yeah, the turret, there we go. Turret does move. In theory, you can pop it off. I don't want to pop the turrets off. It terrifies me. It's just like, yeah, that's a little scary. I don't want that to get lost. I mean, hell, that's why my Gepard that I got has the, oh shoot, sorry, I'm a little stuffy. The Gepard has the turrets glued down. I didn't magnetize them because I am not dealing with that. All right, so we got the two mechs left. These I waited till last on because these have the most excitement about them as far as the mechs in the box. First, a resculpt, and let me go correct that focus because there we are. This is a tipsy boy. There we go. It's been drinking too much, but that is the Bane. I can't remember the variant. All I know is it's the Bane that will pepper you to death with missiles. There it is. The Bane 3. Yes. Um, Oddly, I have ended up collecting a lot of missile mechs lately, with like the metal, okay, Novacat B? Yeah. Yep. Bane 3. It is a monster. I mean, so from the front, it looks really good. I want to say it looks like the mech. Like I don't have a normal Bane to compare it to at the moment, but I feel like the torso is leaned forward more, which works pretty well with the way the arm launchers are. There's like a weird, okay, so clip points and shit. There's one right here that, there we go. You can see it right there. It's like a weird clip point or mold line that shouldn't be hard to get off of there. see its butt. There's another one on that other arm. Yeah, that's a clip point. You can see it there too better. So you got that one there, and you got that one there, which they didn't really get off that well. The bottom of its feet are like inside of there. Like that doesn't need, most people would not worry about detailing that. I think that's awesome. Everything else looks, yeah, there's clip points like at the top of the leg, you know, your normal crap. Stuff that I talk about every video. And I'll do a video about it because I'm gonna have to do a video about all of this because there's a lot of shit in here. Anyway, that's the Bane, which big stamp of approval. It is really cool looking. I don't remember the exact number of missiles that it has, but it's enough missiles that it's going to give somebody a bad day. And in fact, in Alpha Strike, I want to say it's indirect fire 7, which is terrifying when you think about it, because that means that somebody who is not visible to you can do 7 damage from over a hill. You know, it's just, yeah. And normal attack value is 888, short, medium, and long. It doesn't even need to hide behind a hill. It can just walk out and plaster you. And God, what has that got? 10 armor, 5 structure, case, indirect fire 7, LRM 7, 7, 7. It's literally a beat stick. And this is one of your opponents in the campaign. Right? Not awesome. Well, it is awesome, but not awesome when you're receiving on the receiving end. And then we have the new sculpt in here, the brand new mech, the Thunderbolt 2C. I know it's, you know, it's a Thunderbolt 2C, which, if I recall correctly, it came out in Classic. I didn't really like, I wasn't super enthused about it when it came out. I want to say it was TRO 3067, or it was an odd TRO. No, it was later than that. Okay. So apparently it was like one of the Dark Age things. You get the card for the Thunderbolt 2C and the Thunderbolt 2C2. I mean, it's a normal trooper mech. The 2C is actually a little scary. It's like a 5.52 with 2 overheat, 7 armor. No, yeah, 7 armor, 4 structure with case 2, moves 10. It's 48 points. And then the less good version is 8 jump, skirmisher, 4.42 with an overheat of 2. And that one has more armor and structure, though. It's got 7 armor, 6 structure, case, and ECM, and it's 43 points. So it's a little bit less fast, but it, you know, but this is the miniature for this. They have done a wonderful job. I don't see anything blatantly like, what the hell. Now, what is funny is if you look at the center torso here, you can see, do you see that little like inverted triangle motif there? If you look at the Thor, you can see it has an upright version of it. And when the clan mechs originally came out, there was a lot of, okay, so um, this mech is obviously a copy of this, and so forth and so on. And I think it's funny that the Thunderbolt 2C has some of the Thor look in it, because you just don't. It even has the offset cockpit, and the Thor is sort of like a. I want to say the Thor is kind of like a little bit of Warhammer, a little bit of Thunderbolt. Loki is more Thunderbolt than Warhammer. Um, yeah, no, the model looks great. Really, really happy with it. The details do not look washed out on the back. They've done a really good job. Usually that's where you end up with that happening. Yeah, this is spectacular. I love it. All right, so that is all of the miniatures in here. And if you're just here for the minis, cool beans, I get it. But there's other stuff here. We have, like I said, we have Alpha Strike cards. We have all sorts of tokens, I'm betting. So I'm going to lift this back up I do apologize for any weirdness. Lift it past the light. We're going to turn this down that way so we can see what I'm doing again. All right. And you can see one of the, oh, which one of these is loose? There it is. You can see one of the fulcrums are still in here. We're just going to pop that out. All right, so we have unit cards. Of course, you have unit cards for all the mechs and the vehicles in here. I think the Bane, Thunderbolt 2C. There's two Fulcrum cards in here. I just didn't pull them both. The Rifleman, the Locust, and the Baboon. So you got all that. And then you have, oh, and a Marauder 2C. But then you also have, because the AI gets to use a bunch of different stuff here, you have Element. Let me focus. I'm sorry. I am sorry. And I apologize about any glare. Trying to avoid it. But everything is shiny. So yeah, you got the elementals, which it's still not focused. Really, it was just there. Stay. Beautiful. So you got like elemental squads. You have clan foot infantry, more elementals, and more foot infantry. Yeah, you got like one, two, three. You got like five of each. Makes sense. It's it's the clans, five of each. Then you got light emplacements. You got one, two. You got a bunch of emplacement cards. Two, three, four. So these ones are light and medium emplacements. There's four of them. You got one, two, three heavy emplacements of all sorts of different varieties. So you got, yeah, three heavy emplacement cards, which on the back of them are heavy hover APCs, which are awesome vehicles. And then, of course, if you're using them in Classic, if you want them for Classic, you get, and this is pretty damn cool, um, you get battlefield support cards for all of the units that are in here for the vehicles and stuff, even if it doesn't have a physical model. So, in theory, you could use them, I guess you could play this in Classic somehow. I don't know how, but, you know. All right, so they're going to require their own video, or the whole campaign system will. I apologize, sore throat, fun stuff. After con bugs, which, by the way, Southern Assault was awesome. So you got here all your cards, and I want to see what, like, am I going to need to buy multiple Aces boxes to end up with cards for strikers and, basically all the stuff? Or is that something that I don't need to worry about? Because yeah, I also think there are rules for objectives for the AI in here, which means it's a little bit helpful. I don't know how else to put it. All right, so you got special orders cards, and this is like force withdrawal, objective, what to do with objectives, indirect attacks, stuff like that. Um, Not quite sure how they work yet. We will find out when I actually go through and dig through this sucker and do an overview of everything. So then we have the edge abilities. And let's see, we've got, and these are stuff that you can have for your mech warriors. Assassin, before rolling to attack target in 3 arc, you can spend 1 energy to increase your damage by 1. Forward Observer, which helps with indirect fire. Marksman, you can spend an edge to, one attack roll of 11 that hits to also say if you roll an 11 on an attack, you can make it into a critical hit. Jumping jack, you make your TMM thing less. So jump one +1 instead of +2. Patient attack, standstill movement, spend one edge to reroll all your dice. So that's essentially a luck. And I do like the way they've done these. Um, you have a good one there, Diamond Tango. So yeah, you have like each of these are really cool, and some of them are the same as special abilities in Alpha Strike. Some of them are not. Like cautious, uh, you can spend an edge to change any of your facings. Protector, and these are not Alpha Strike abilities. These are stuff that they have come up with for this. Friendly unit within 2 inches. If it's smaller than you, you can spend an edge to prevent one damage to it, so you're blocking. Coolant flush, you can spend up to 2 edge to reduce your heat by that much. Bulwark, when you take physical damage, including self-inflicted damage from DFA. Okay. Spend one edge to reduce the damage received by one. Melee specialist, you are better. Spend one edge to reroll. You're better at physical attacks. I apologize for the lighting. Okay, awesome. And Speed Demon, when using ground or sprint movement, spend one edge to gain +2 or +4 movement this turn. I guess sprinting is the +4. But yeah, so some of these are Alpha Strike abilities in the rule book. I'm going to move this back over a little bit so I can hopefully get some better lighting. Some of them are not. Um, Try not to wash out everything with the lighting. Hopefully, once we have this plastic off of here, it's not going to be as big a deal. So let's see. All right, so yeah, we have those are your edge abilities. And then you have what's next in this deck. It looks like commanders. Yes, it is. One of the things they added after the playtest, they added commanders, and each of these commanders, I'm not quite sure how these work yet, but like you have a Star Captain A through E, you have Mech Warrior A, B, C, D, and E here. I love how it's trying to capture a face. And they all have their own special abilities on the front and back of the card that are going to affect how the game plays out. I don't know if there's a named character one anywhere, but we'll see. All right, so then we have. All right, so I feel like this is less cards than they originally did in the beta. I'll have to look. All right, I have. Okay, that's kind of cool. So before I go through all the different classes I actually did, you have. So this is. There we go. I need like actual lighting. All right, so this is the Scout card. So any of the units with the Scout uh, role are going to be able to use this card. So this side is all the movement, and depending on the commander and everything else, I know they play into this. You have aggressive, balanced, and cautious for movement. And then when you flip it, you have combat, and it tells you what they're going to do if they're going to overheat, stuff like that. So you have, and I hope they're mixed up at all, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 scouts. Brawlers, we have next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be 6 of each. So you got scout, you got brawler. Scoot that up. You have striker. All right, so far we're doing good. Skirmisher, 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I want to say you only had 4 roles, and it was brawler, striker, skirmisher, and sniper in the playtest. This one even though I don't think they use all of these roles. I know I'm starting to go off of the thing here. So there's Juggernaut, and then it gets a little bit specific. So you have Juggernaut there, you have a missile boat there. All right, so you've got all of your normal types for your roles. So you can play with mechs with every role. Okay, that is, I think that's very important because that actually lets you use it with any kind of list of mechs. You have ambushing infantry, and then if you have mechs with jump strong, you have skirmisher cards for mechs that have jump strong because they're going to play differently than a normal skirmisher. You also have scout hover, striker hover, and that's it. So that's all your unit type cards. Now, mind you, yeah, you're not going to be able to play with, say, I don't know, heavy armor like Pattons and Ontosses and all that good stuff. But you do get essentially most different types of mechs. I'm sure there's other jump strong ones that are not skirmishers out there, but this lets you play this AI with a wide variety of mechs. Mind you, all your commanders for this are clan commanders, but I know they have so many of these planned, and it's going to change. You know, there's going to be other commanders and stuff like that. Now, this one looks interesting. It's very thin, but you'll notice on one side it has edge abilities learned, campaigns and sorties played, and on the other side you have a call sign type. I keep trying to lean it towards me. Um, this I don't know what happened, what this exactly is. I'll find out eventually. If you're wounded, MVP, I guess you pick somebody. And I want to say this might just be a bunch of these. Does have a reclosable. I'm not going to lie, what I'll probably end up doing, although I might not have to, is converting these cards over to, hey, Squirpeg, how you doing? Um, I am going over the Alpha Strike Aces box. I'm almost to the more back part of it. Okay, yeah, so you got the cards. They'll have slightly different pilots on them. Um, but for the most part, it's just the same thing over and over. It's just different pictures. But I can totally go into Photoshop and make pilot cards or pilot spreadsheets or something that you can put your own picture in there, which I think would be awesome. Um, okay, so there's that. This out of the way. All right, we're in a little bit deeper now. So you have a rules reference card for Alpha Strike, which I think is just your standard. Yeah, I want to say this is the standard rules reference card. Give you a little bit more height. Actually, I don't need to. Nope, I don't think I need to. So that's standard rules reference. A little bit different. You got emplacements back here, but you got infantry, transporting infantry, combat. Oh, well, no, it's not the standard. Oh no, it's not for the two hit numbers and stuff. It's just for rules. That's actually really cool. Let's see. Oh, okay. So these, I am totally scanning these into PDF or into my computer, and then going to be redoing those as PDF because these are the ACES sortie logs, and you get a sortie log front and back. Covers all your income, expenses, personnel, repairs. It's really cool. Then over here you have the campaign log with all your sorties that you've been through and everything else, and the keywords that you get in your war chest, and the player force roster. So this is really cool. And what I might do, because I've been talking about doing a Alpstrike Ace, Alpstrike Aces games. Some of the ideas sort of like fizzled because of technical stuff. But what I might do is if I can get a just a top-down rig set up in the studio, because I'm in the temporary studio right now because I don't have central heat in there and it gets cold. All right, so here's some of your tokens. These are called edge tokens. You have your movement tokens. This looks like a turn tracker, waypoints, um, move first, move last. Not sure what those do yet. I will find out. Then over here we have more the waypoints, the edge stuff, the initiative. So that's pretty basic, straightforward, it looks like. We then have some of the other terrain that was most looked forward to with this. Okay, so these right here are rivers that you can punch out. You also have here's elementals, heavy hover APC, foot platoons, heavy emplacement. But anyway, so you have looks like dried out riverbeds, or you can have full riverbeds, right? But one of the things people were most looking forward to is the fact that, well, one, okay, so everybody's looking forward to the max, but what I think people like me at least, people who are weird about, oh look, I can make paper terrain, the bridge. I know it's a really dumb thing. Well, the interlocking rivers is cool. Don't get me wrong, but the bridge, oh my God, like where's the other? There it is. Yeah, there's more hover APC. Oh my God, I can't lift it. That's important in the back there. But I want to do this real quick. I know I'm like a child right now. A very large, very I don't even know the right words. Child. I mean, yeah, no, I'm an adult, but I am still a little fucking kid when it comes to holy crap, new and novel thing. Okay, so yeah, the bridge, as you can see, I'm putting it together while I'm ranting. And well, you can't see because I've done it off screen for the most part, but I haven't actually put it all together yet. So there are little tiny uh, pay like spots that you have to pop out, and I want to say it's taken me definitely under 5 minutes to do because I'm just doing this really quick. And mind you, I don't get me wrong, I really would if I had the option of getting actual terrain that's the same size as what we have here. Oh, I'm going to leap on it. In fact, what I might do is look at using the hills as templates to make foam terrain so that way I don't have to rely on the papercraft hills. I can actually just have foam terrain that's in the right shapes because when they do the campaign, from what I have seen, the hills are put up against each other in certain ways to create um, the different landscapes that you need. And yes, we are all kids at heart. So now that I've used the stabby knife and I've gotten all the little pokey things out, we'll take this. Oh, oh, that is awesome. Okay. Yeah, my inner nerd just got even nerdier because this looks like yeah, they did a detail you don't even need. This is the superstructure. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, no. I'm not an engineer, but when I was in high school, I was learning how to be an architect and I was going to get an apprenticeship. And then I moved to a county where that just doesn't happen. So, um, yeah, I'm a little bit of like an engineering nerd, and the fact that they even felt they needed to include that is just really cool. All right, so when you're pushing this on, it's a little tight. I would recommend that you push from the side where, here, I'll show you. Okay, yeah, I mean, in theory, I could collapse this and put it back up as many times as I want. But so when you look at these, you have the side with the hard edge where you know, the die has gone through this way. And you have the sides with that little curve to them. Use that because it'll help get these in easier. But yeah, no, I'm done. Bridge is built. There's a fucking bridge right there. I did it in like 5 minutes. Yeah, no, this is awesome because this adds another layer of complexity to the game. And in fact, in theory, you could do like okay, no, I'm not gonna rant because I'm thinking about like canyon maps and having bridges over the yeah, no. But anyway, this is awesome. I love it. And it can be used for more than this, obviously. Like I like to play in urban terrain and like this I could build a city with a river in it and I could build Chicago, I think. Yeah, I could build Chicago, or I could build DC and have like important stuff outside the city. At least one important thing. So that's where you stick the Pentagon. But yeah, no. All right. So then we finally have the last thing in here, and well, no, I'm not because this is okay. So I put down. It'll probably reflect. Yep. Oh, I don't know. It's not that bad. But I put down a piece of. Oh, that's worse. Okay, now we're just gonna do it that way. Put down a piece of plastic, acrylic, on here because the desk under here is actually an antique architecture, like a drafting desk. Don't want to fuck it up with paint, and my normal painting desk is currently not. I don't have access to it at the moment. So we got the actual campaign book, and you'll see it's spiral bound. And I would, part of me would want to see everything go to this kind of binding as far as rule books, because if I need to access something on page what you call it, whatever, I open it up, it just lays flat. I don't have the rule book does not want to do that thing where it like folds over. So I mean, I would totally be for. Oh, there's that rifleman in all its glory. There you can see it better. But yeah, so the actual campaign book is spiral bound. I wish both of the rule books in here were spiral bound. That would make it so much easier. But yeah, this is so you got the training. So you have two training scenarios. Um, I've actually been watching someone lately on YouTube. Oh God, what's his name? Bad Ben's Battle Mechs. I don't know the guy really well, but what I will say is, yeah, he does. He's been doing Alpha Strike Aces stuff. He got the game at Essen, which is how, not this one, but the pictures I got of the Battle Mechs before now, which I may not need. Um, they at Essen, Bobby got his from Essen. Um, I'm not quite sure how he did that. Okay, so I mean, I know I did it. He got a mule, just like how I'll be a mule. But if somebody needs something from the U.S. and they're in Europe for BattleTech, let me know. I have no problem helping get it for you. But yeah, so we have the battle ROMs, the Scouring Sands, your first contract, and then additional rules, beginning of the campaign sorties, waypoints, and epilogue. So it plays out like a story. This is first printing. And here, of course, you have Lysander Studios, and then like everybody who is involved, the play testers. I don't think I was a play tester on this. Nope, was not on this. I've play tested a couple things, but this is not one of the things I was involved in. So yeah, and you have like it shows you how to set up the battlefield. From what I understand, it prefers a Required components, play area. All sorties in this Aces campaign use a 48 by 48 play area. And there are rules for playing on smaller things. Required optional rules. When playing, you must use multiple attack rolls, which, if anybody is here who's been to Southern Assault, you'll know how that works. And front-loaded initiative for unequal units, which also is a common Southern Assault thing. But like this one, it shows you which mech warrior to use. It's a guided tutorial through how it works. It does use the Alpha Strike buildings as well. You will need the Alpha Strike buildings, and you can buy those by themselves from Catalyst or from Fortress. I would recommend Fortress. It's discounted, and he's my sponsor, and he's awesome. I mean, just saying. And then you have your guided tutorial here and how all of it works. So you don't even need to actually play this. You it shows you basically how it works. It's a walkthrough. And then I want to say, yeah, because you have the cards predetermined and everything, it looks like. Then you actually have the training scenario and the waypoints for it. And this is cool art. This was used on the Alpha Strike box. Yeah, multiple attack dice. I prefer those. I do know some people play with pilot dice, which nothing against pilot dice. I somebody did a study of it. I want to say it was on Reddit where they went and they talked about all this stuff. And the multiple attack dice, the pilot dice, and the 2d6 for all attacks seem to level out. Um, and I kind of get how that works because if you are trying to hit like a TMM4 target repeatedly and you just keep missing and missing and missing, and then you hit it and it vaporizes, you know, that is roughly the same as you plink it, you plink it, you plink it, it dies. So I get that. And I do, I haven't really messed with the pilot dice system. I'm tempted to. I don't know really if I want to. So yeah, you have the campaign introduction, your planetary survey, the terrain rules. It shows you how to build the bridge. Probably can't see it, but it's like, hey, here's how you build a bridge. You do have short hills and tall hills, which move some miniatures. More no, don't fall. They already fell. All right. So yeah, you got tall hills and short hills, and put that there. Put this here. Oh yeah, so here's one of the short hills, and it's 1 inch tall. Yeah, no, these hills, I really might see if I can just use them as templates for foam because instead of having to have the little hills, I can just have foam hills. Which nothing wrong with these hills. They're cool, but I worry about the how well they'll stand up to repeated use. Yeah, yeah, hill. It's awesome. Hop back over here because God knows this thing. And any of y'all listening and everything, or watching, I appreciate it. I just got to say that. But yeah, the pilot die, they seem to be a little bit swingy when you look at it. Um, but then again, like, so it's just a standard 2d6 system because like a Mad Cat W just vaporizes a lot of mechs that are out there. Same with that Bane if you're using the standard system. So yeah, no, like the 1 inch hills, they look good. They're the right height. But yeah, I might go ahead and just use these as templates so that way I can make foam hills. I, I haven't done anything with Myth Kitty Minis in years. You might suddenly see foam hills as a thing. Alternate munitions. Some Some units in this box set feature S-arm and L-arm abilities. Within the context of Battletech Aces, any alternate munitions are handled as special rules for a given sortie. Explains how. Yeah, so this. Okay. So in theory, you could buy the Alpha Strike box and then buy this, and it covers. I think these are special rules that are not covered in the Alpha Strike box. Flak turret, tags, searchlight, jump jet strong, and then you have the. It explains everything here. New ace subtypes, how you begin the campaign, and then then you get into your stories. You can see here like how they connect the hills together to make. Yet like actually, I think I already have them built. Like that hill and that hill. That's not the right ones. Well, it's something like that. I have to look and see because I want to say it explains exactly which hills they are. Because it seemed to be very. No, no, it's not. Okay, that's not the right hill anyway. This one. But yeah, it shows you how to lay everything out. Gives you a grid system. Excuse me, a grid system. Yeah, as you go through, and yeah, I'm gonna have to look through these probably tonight because. Oh, and of course, here's like the mechs you can buy while you're on planet. You got like the Howler, Crimson Hawk, Rifleman, the 3N. Ooh, yeah. Ion Sparrow, Pouncer, Griffin 2C, Rifleman 5D, the Hellcat, the Shadowhawk 2C, um, Warhammer 2C Standard, Thresher Mark II, the Nightgyre, Hero Falcon, Rifleman 2C5, couple Phoenix Hawk, BLR 1G Battlemaster, Old School Battlemaster. You can buy a Cardinal and a Kite. Yeah, so I want to say that's what you can buy. Yep. This is what you can buy supposedly. Um, when I do a playthrough, I might start with this because I think this all takes place on the same planet. I'm not sure. I need to look at how you set up your force because that I'm truly curious about. Combat phase, initiative. That's the playthrough, the guided tutorial. Uh, yeah. So this is Magnificent Seven, I believe. But okay, if they don't have how that works in here, I feel like they could have done this all as one rule book. Well, I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, so I mean that's it for what's in Aces. I'm gonna grab the rule book real quick because I'm curious about how you build your army for this. Oh God, I am so sorry. Do they take it in Classic or in Alpha Strike? Regularly using a Bane 3. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I can talk a lot more naturally when I'm not recording. I don't know why. Playing the sortie, ending the sortie, campaign round. Okay, where is how do I build my army? Here we go. So I'm not trying to reveal everything, obviously, because Catalyst needs to make their money. I don't want them to not make their money on this because, well, I never want them to not. God, that sounds horrible. I never want them to not make money, but on this, I want to make sure that they are making as much money as humanly possible off of Aces because if this goes well, and that sounds wrong too. I'm not a Catalyst shill, I promise. I'm a weirdo. A cute weirdo? Yeah, Alpha Strike, Jesus Christ. Um oh God. Are y'all playing with special abilities, like pilot abilities and shit? Or are you just playing normal Alpha Strike without those? Because I don't know if it still has the interaction, but forward observer plus tag plus sharpshooter. I am not a shill. Well, no, I am a shill, but I'm a shill for Fortress. Please go buy from Fortress. He's awesome. Um, okay. So anyway, force creation. You start with a 400 point value. Okay, 400 point value, at least 8 units. Um, all units are skill 4. Include only units of the following type: battle mechs, battle armor, combat vehicles, conventional infantry. Okay, yeah. You are limited to a max of 2 battle mechs or omni-mechs of the same chassis, but they cannot be the same variant, at least for starting, I guess. Up to 2 units of the same chassis and variant for all other unit types. Okay, yeah, so oddly, the force creation rules here are using common tournament rules. So, oh, at least there's no pilot ability because, like, if they had, uh, it's not sniper. There's another one, oblique attacker or something like that, plus a scout with forward observer to do the indirect fire, and they happen to have tag on them. It I haven't checked on the interaction for a few years because I haven't used it in a few years. But I had a friend who was very, very fond of that interaction with one of the longbows, and it was just it was horrible. All right. In addition to creating your force of units, you must create a team of named pilots. These will become the heroes of your force, wielding powerful edge abilities. You must create at least 2 named pilots, but you may have up to 6. If you have never played an Aces campaign before, we recommend creating 4 named pilots to begin. However, if you are playing the campaign cooperatively with a group, it's the most fun for each player to have 1 unit. Okay. They're, they are locked to a type of unit, battle mech, vehicle, etc., but not to a specific unit. Before each campaign sortie, you'll assign named pilots to the units you field. Named pilots take a portion of the SP you earn from every sortie, making them a potential drain on your force's resources and can leave you low on funds to purchase replacement units. On the other hand, having more named pilots gives you more redundancy, variety, and eventually a better skill rating across your force. Okay, so you create your force at 400 point value. And then after you've created your 400 point value force with all skill 4 units, mind you, you also create at least 1 named pilot. What I'm planning on doing, I might break the only up to 6 named pilot rules. I'm going to have okay, well no, I'll do the 6 named pilot rules, but here's the thing. If anybody dies and all 6 pilots, it will obviously be myself, or might be a different name, but so I'll but and then each of the pilots, so it'll probably be my partner who had passed away a few years ago, Susie. Um, I always sort of like I don't know, it's weird. I try to include her and stuff, but yeah, so it might be Susie. So Susie, and then 5 of my patrons. And then as pilots die, new patrons get stuck in there as new pilots. So that way, um, you know, you don't want to cheer for anybody to die, but at the same time, depending on who gets put in there, because what I'm going to do, I am going to make sure that I get this actually filmed, even though it's going to be very bland. I don't want to say it's going to be bland. It's going to be from the top down or from a set angle, so you'll have to work with what you got, you know. So yeah, this okay. So this one covers all the campaign setup, the how to build a force, the campaign rounds. Um, Set play area, opposing force, set the command. Take a set of command cards listed for the opposing force, place them in a deck beside the other cards. You do not need to shuffle. Gather units, create aces decks. Give each. Okay, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, and then of course it has what happens if it fails. You must replay it. Um, Check for casualties, your sortie outcome. So yeah, I think we have finally covered aces, scouring sands as far as like just a quick review in general. Um, I mean, I can hang out for a while if y'all want to. Otherwise, I am going to put all this back in the box for the time being because I have to write a script or just an article. I might see if Mech Painters Union wants an article for it. How to take one of these City Tech Mad Cats and oh no, your ear fell off. I have to reglue that one. I have a couple other ones and turn it into. Mind you, it's vinyl, so it does not like super glue the most. Turn it into a Mad Cat 3 because they scale really well. And I mean, they're not super high res. They're 1990s vinyl plastic, but I mean, looks wise, it can pass as a Mad Cat 3. So I'm gonna super glue that one back together real quick because it bothers me, and I know I will lose the freaking missile launcher if I leave it. If any of y'all want to help support what I do, because now I do have to chill. If any of y'all want to support what I do, the podcast, the this, the YouTube stuff, or anything else, patreon.com/unicorn company, or you can become a channel member. I want to say it's like $1.50 a month as a channel member. Patreon, you can get in for like $1 a month. You get short, or not short, you get early access to videos, or most of the time at least. Sometimes I'm just not good at it. I apologize. But yeah, so, and we're regluing this Mad Cat's shoulder launcher because reasons, because it must be done. Why is it so wonky? There we go. It's a little better. Yeah, no, make little Mad Cat 3s because I like them and they're fun. And essentially, it's a better linebacker in some cases. Baby Mad Cats, like the Uziel's a baby Warhammer. All right, so I'm gonna. Oh, also the mechs in this box. I'm probably gonna see that painting in the Jade Falcon Opt for colors here. And oh my God, this is this may not be. Do you see this Falcon here? I know I'm getting ready to be done. See that Falconer? That is the Fal. That is shit. I forget which Falcon Guards unit that is. I want to say that's Malthus's unit. So anyway, it's 10:30. I have a commission to work on. I have videos about Southern Assault to put together. My overview of Southern Assault will be coming out on Saturday for everybody, for channel members and patrons. They already have access to it. I still have the Alpha Strike Open mission deck to give away. So if anybody's interested in that, I know in my videos I usually put a link to the Discord and the Patreon and all that stuff. And I'm not used to streaming, so I really don't know what to put up here a lot of times. So anyway, y'all have a good one. If I get really bored tonight, I might stream again because I'm off tomorrow. And yeah, so night.